Do you remember the story of the princess and the pea? In this story, a young woman claims to be a true princess. So to test her, a single pea is placed beneath layers of 20 mattresses and 20 feather beds. By morning, she wakes up and she's covered in bruises because she could feel that tiny little pea beneath all those layers. The story concludes that only a true princess could be so sensitive and delicate to be able to feel that tiny pea. She's awarded a marriage with the prince. Most people hear that story and think of it as a harmless fairy tale, but I look at that story and see a spiritual lesson. One of the gifts that I've been blessed with is the ability to translate dreams. I'm able to basically see a dream, see the symbolism, and understand the message coming through. So the way I look at this fairy tale, this story, is as if it was a dream that someone is telling me. So I'm going to translate this story as if it were a dream. To me, this story is the story of the neurodivergent. The pea is symbolic of a tiny disturbance within someone's energy field or their spiritual sensitivity. The mattresses represent the outstanding layers of trauma and conditioning, fear, ego, manipulation that we all go through in life. Now, under all those layers of trauma and history, most people become numb, but empaths and neurodivergents are actually opposite. We become more sensitive. Neurodivergent people, trauma can heighten spiritual sensitivity. That's why small little things can basically disrupt our entire vibe. Our entire energy field becomes chaotic. We can see and sense and pick up different energetic shifts within us and around us. Being spiritually awake basically means you have a heightened level of discernment. Your intuition is stronger. You can pick up on things that most people can't. And to me, that's what the little pea represents. The princess wasn't necessarily fragile. She was just able to pick up on something that everyone else was trained to ignore. The world often teaches us to become harder so nothing affects us. But spirit teaches the opposite. Spirit softens the heart so it can recognize truth when it arrives in a small whisper. The true princess was revealed by what she could feel. The message I would tell this dreamer is to not ignore the small discomforts that they've been trying to explain away. The spiritual lesson in this story is to trust your intuition, because sometimes the smallest pebble beneath your spirit is God's way of revealing that something deeper needs your attention. The question isn't whether there's a pea under your mattress. The question is, have you become so covered by the layers of this world that you can't feel it anymore? Scripture says, "He who has ears to hear, let him hear." Me, that sounds a lot like the spiritual symbolism in this world is obvious for those who have the eyes to see. It's not a coincidence that the neurodivergents of the world are the ones leading us through this spiritual awakening.